Welcome to the Sorgho News.
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Aria. Let's welcome Alicia to lead us in the pledge.
Hey, is that charged? Stand, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's now time to welcome Miss Clayton and the Connections team.
Hey guys, I'm not Miss Clayton, but she asked me to come in today and talk a little bit about a few celebrations that we have at school. The first one is our class of the week. She will be bringing by some supplies and recognizing you guys for some success this week that you guys had in PE. Yes. And that is Miss Hayden's class, 4th grade. Yeah, Miss Hayden's class. She'll be bringing by a bag of sports equipment and celebrating that. And you guys need to be recognized for that. So congratulations. We also have some art awards that I want to pass out. And we had a little contest. You know, it's always about contests and having fun and everybody gets to celebrate. But I wanted to recognize a few outstanding pieces of art. And it's hard for me to pick. So I had someone from our office to choose it and a student. And you know what's crazy is when they looked at the art, they all agreed that this was outstanding work. So if you hear your name, come on down and collect your prize at the end of our time for the news. Okay. So let's see what we got. You ready? Okay. So we have who?
Ivy.
Say it.
Ivy.
Come on down. We also have Butoto in Miss Vogel's class. Congratulations. And wait a minute. We also have Bakuru. Good job. Come on down and celebrate your art success, okay? Speaking of art success, Tuesday night, make sure to come by and do your leadership conferences, do your parent conferences, and then stop by the art show. We have an art exhibit that's going to have over 100 pieces of art by students right here in Sorgho from preschool all the way to 5th grade. It was a hard decision, but Miss Pippin only gave me one classroom to work through. So I'm hoping that you guys can get a chance to come in and see the wonderful work that we have going on and spotlight the artists here at Sorgho. Okay, great job. Thanks for coming in and thanks for being here.
Now let's welcome Miss Pippin for popping Miss Pippin.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's Friday. I feel like it's been a while since I've been sitting here in a Friday news. I don't know why. I don't know. It's probably because our DCPS at home days helped me out, Miss Pippin. Maybe it's for. It just seems like it's been a while since I've been sitting here and that we've had Friday news. I am talking fast today. I'm super excited. That's why. Well, I talk fast anyway, but today is extra fast because I'm super excited. It's a gorgeous day. Thank you for the beautiful weather, the big man, and we're going to have a special guest in the building, and we're just going to see our building shine and be showcased, and it's always fun to do that. A couple of things real fast before we get started. I'm talking fast because I want to end our news pretty quickly because we've got our guests that are going to start coming in, and the festivities start around 8 when I'll be in the building. And like I said, don't forget teachers to review those schedules today. We may have to make some alternate schedules. And choir needs to show up at the Mr. Velez's room at 8:10. If you're presenting a board, a community service project board, learning service project board, or a club, you're going to the gym at 8:20 and be prepared for them whenever the guests get there. We're going to be on a flexible schedule this morning, hopefully for presentation very quickly. So it's just a fun day. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this right now. My phone is on. I'm going to keep turning the volume up because I don't want to miss. I'm waiting for a text. I'm crossing my fingers. I was concerned a little bit about the wind, with wind out there today, but I'm waiting for a text because possibly one of our first responders today that's supposed to be here is a helicopter. It is an air evac life team. We can't ever say if they're going to be here or not because obviously the things that they do are handle emergencies sometimes, and sometimes we can't predict when those will be happening. But this year, they're like, now the weather looks nice. a little bit of wind. I'm kind of watching that. I'm waiting on my phone for a text when they're leaving their facility, and that's about a 20-minute flight to get here. So I'm going to watch. When I know they're going to land this morning, it's going to be over here on the car rider loop, outer loop. We have coned everything off. We will have a fire department to help them land. And so if I get on the horn and I say, hey, if you'd like to step outside, or just depending on when they get here, you're welcome to come and see them land. And if you can't see that, possibly at 10:30, if you'd like to, like I said, step outside, anywhere outside in our yard, you can see them possibly take off at 10:30. I will let you know. I don't like to tell you because something like last year we couldn't have it happen. But like I said, so far, I'm still waiting on a go for that. Exciting times. Birthdays. Happy birthday today to Robert Harding and Angel Soto. And this weekend, Jennifer P. And do you know any of these? And Cole Shelton and Grayson and Ruby. So happy birthday to you guys this weekend. It's supposed to be gorgeous. I didn't know. It's Easter weekend. I did not know. And I thought, well, it's going to rain. And now they're saying just like 20%. So it's just fabulous. I love spring. I love the weather. I love the sunshine. It's going to be a great day. Mr. Murphy's going to step back in because he and I are going to speak a little bit about us. No? Yes. We're going to speak about a little topic real fast before we end our news. Talk to us about what's going on right now, like I said, this month.
Okay. Well, this is called Autism Awareness Month. And we have a lot of people in our school and a lot of people in our community that use this as a way to show their differences, right? And so I'm going to share a little spill. And since I talk a lot, I'm going to make it limited. Miss Bailey, I know you're keeping me on a timer. So we're going to do part 1. And because we're in a hurry, we might do part 2 next week.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to read it off my little script.
Yes.
Okay. So it says, many people in our lives have someone they know with autism. It's not always something we can see on the outside, but simply that our brain may work differently and we see the world in a different way. Routine and repetition are things that help people with autism find success. Sometimes it's something like they get preoccupied or they get focused on a certain topic and they sometimes are forgetful. Well, I'm an example of that because I have autism and it's something that I work with every day. And so sometimes when I've got thoughts, they feel like I'm stuck in the mud. And it's nice to see that people can be patient and that people can slow down to help people with autism. Okay. That means that we are trying to understand people with autism. And it isn't that the right thing to do, that we take the time to try to understand people who are different or people who may learn differently? So there's a range of levels in autism. There's called a spectrum. Okay. And some people, it may be severe, and that would be like what they call level 4. But I have like a level 1, which is kind of mild. Okay. So it's something that I have to work on every day with my coworkers, my parents, and my families, and even my kids and my wife at home. Okay. So this doesn't mean people with autism are weird or strange. Sometimes new places and new faces can make people with autism very nervous. Okay. Rather, they may seem to be in their own world, focused on one idea, and they like to learn a lot about one subject, like cars, dinosaurs, or maybe things that have to do with science or whatever interests them. They find that's called being hyper-focused. Okay. Routines and lists sometimes help us, and notes like I'm using here helps them focus and learn about ideas in a safe way. So sometimes people with autism take a long time to explain things. I use like 600 words when some people might use 60, but that's another example of how you can be patient. You have to think about things in their brain before they speak, because it's almost like there's thoughts of spaghetti in my head, and I kind of straighten the noodles out so I can make sure that I'm explaining myself. Okay. That's the part that I think is good, because everybody's unique. Everybody moves different, thinks different, speaks different. And it's important that we understand that not everybody's like us in many ways, but there's ways that we can be very similar, and we can show respect and kindness to everybody who might learn differently or think differently or move differently, right? Thanks, guys. Part 2 next week, because Ms. Pippin's cut me off, because it's time for leaders in the workplace.
Mr. Murphy, no, I didn't. You saw that. This is a love pat. So that is, like I said, thank you, Mr. Murphy. Like I said, it is, like I said, that is one of our strengths here at this school. Is like I said, I want us to look out for each other and embrace our differences. And that's kind of what, like I said, we try to showcase and embrace our differences with our different cultures. And like I said, this is another way of having that empathy for others, because sometimes it's hard to look past us. I know you guys are young, and so that's kind of ingrained in how you guys do, but we got to think about taking care of each other. And like I said, giving each other grace and giving each other that time. And I love Mr. Murphy, and I have a really good relationship because I'm a fast talker, and he knows he can say to me, Ms. Pippin, I'm going to need to say this again. And we have conversations sometimes, don't we? Like I said, he's been open with me. So
Sometimes
I
I
have to understand.
Sometimes I have to repeat things several times just to get it out of my head. And I have this thing about threes where I have to say everything like 3 times.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it gets my families and my own kids and my wife really frustrated sometimes. But they're really patient with me, and I appreciate the students and the families here at school and the faculty that do that as well. So I'm going to sneak out of here.
Thank you for that. And it's always nice to learn
Fun.
about each other. And like I said, so we can, like I said, we are all one big family. I think we're ready to start this great day. Are you guys ready? Oh, estimated time of arrival. What perfect timing? 8:13.
There you go.
8:13. Just to guys let everybody know if you can. You can't, like I said, go outside. And like I said, hopefully at 8:13 she's got it down. So that's a good sign. That means they've lifted off. All right. Sorgho leaders are
Responsible, respectful, safe.
We are
Ready to learn.
Have a great day of leading and learning.